Hey everybody, what's up? This is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. Three ideas that I want to talk about today. Three ideas. Stay in the way, the New World Order agenda, and fit for fight. And then also stick around. Make sure you stick around because I'm going to talk about some action steps. Some simple action steps that you can implement tomorrow, implement today, that will help you stay in the way and that will help you stay abreast to the New World Order agenda, and then also help you stay fit for fight. I've been thinking about a number of ideas that's gotten me on this little rabbit trail of ideas I just expounded on and that I just named as far as the topic matter for today's discussion. I've been recently reading a number of books. One in particular is Hitmakers by Derek Thompson, and he talks about what it means to be a hit maker, what it means to rise to the top of popularity and notoriety and get noticed in a world of distraction and in a world where there is so much noise. But in this book, one of the things that often sticks out to me, and one of the underlying themes that sticks out in a number of books that I often read, is the cycle and patterns of culture and trends over time, and that humanity goes through cycles and goes through patterns that repeat itself without fail over time. And it's just a part of human nature. A lot of times we don't see it because we get caught up in the minutia, in the routine, the mundaneness of regular day-to-day living, moment-to-moment living, minute-to-minute living. But when you take a broad macro level view of humanity and time, we end up doing the same things. It kind of reminds me of, it's kind of similar to, or akin to, the plots of sci-fi movies like The Matrix, and then there's other ones too. I recently watched Wonder Woman, and you could see this theme or this motif even in that movie, and how humanity has a tendency. Humanity has a built-in. It's just part of our nature that we just repeat ourselves at a macro, and also at a even on a micro scale too. But I won't go there. I digressed. But three ideas I wanted to just kind of expound on to help bring clarity and to help also sure you up and help you stay encouraged and motivated to maintain your level of living, and also maybe help you strive to level up in your life. Somebody tagged me in a post earlier with respect to they made a comment about how it's one thing to attain and reach a goal, a set goal, but it's another to maintain that, and I was thinking about salvation, and that it's one thing to accept that moment of accepting salvation if you consider yourself called out and a follower of the way, but it's another to actually live out that decision that you made over a lifetime and maintain, stay the course. As they say, to stay on that journey, to stay on that path. And that phrase just kept jumping out at me. That phrase continually stayed with me. So that gives rise to one of the ideas of the topic, one of the subjects one of the points I wanted to make today. I wanted to encourage you that wherever you find this message, wherever you find me talking to you, streaming in your ear, to be encouraged to stay in the way and hold fast to the decision that you've made to do whatever you can that's in your power to hang in there and stay the course, regardless of what is the circumstances that may or may not be taking place around you, or even some of the inner troubles and circumstances you may be dealing with. So stay the course. And in thinking about that, I ran across Acts 18 and 26, just looking at Aquila and Priscilla real quick. Let me go there. And, oftentimes I'll read scripture because reading scripture, I've noticed in a lot of our churches and in a lot of our meetings and stuff, we really don't even read the script. Even at home, we used to read on a regular basis. We don't even read the scriptures and read the verses and actually go look for ourselves and see what they say. So this is one thing I had to do in my personal walk as a person who considers themselves as part of the called out, part of the body, is that I had to grow up one day and be like a Berean and start reading and studying and looking at stuff and looking up words for myself, so that it won't be what somebody else said, but it'll be what I actually read and I actually searched out for myself. I may not understand everything and be able to explain everything and have everything memorized, but I know the scriptures when I hear it, and I know when somebody else is speaking truth or dropping in subtle hints of deception or non-truths. So this is very important, being a person of the body. So let me go to Acts 18 and 26 real quick. Acts 18 and 26. Just talking about the importance of staying in the way. And I just want to speak some words of encouragement to you today as you go about your daily business. And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took him unto them and expounded unto him the way of God more perfectly. And we look up that phrase just it keeps jumping out at me. And apparently it's a word or road, progress, mode or means or journey, the journey of God. So when you accept salvation, what you're doing is you're crossing over and you're beginning a journey. So it's one thing to obtain salvation, and then you have to stay on the journey of salvation because of time. You live. So every day you wake up, you have to make the choice to continue the walk down the path of the way. The way to what? The way to God, the way to life, the way of God. So you spend the rest of your journey learning and uncovering and then walking in the light. You become stronger as you learn. So you begin to broaden and uncover knowledge. You become illuminated, and then you get understanding, which you start to gather. You start to understand, know what it means, know how to, know what fits where, know when to do what, know why to do why. You get what I'm saying? And then after that, you begin to know the path. You begin wisdom. Wisdom means to act. Wisdom means to move knowing and understanding your decisions. You make good decisions. So you want to stay in the way. You want to learn about the way, and it just with respect to Aquila and Priscilla, this was a couple that had ran across, I believe his name, Apollos. They had ran across Apollos. Apollos was a mighty man in the scriptures, and they listened to him and was like, man, this is a tough dude right here. He's mighty in the scriptures, but he's lacking some understanding. So they put him aside, and they gave him, and they expounded unto him even more, and they sent him on his way. So he became even better. He became even stronger in his way. He became more excellent in his living. So that's what we strive to do. That's why it's important. I want to encourage you to stay in the way. Keep at it. Don't stop. Stay at it. The way of salvation, Acts 16 and 17. Let me go to Acts chapter 16 and 17, talking about staying in the way. 16, 17. The same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High God, which show unto us the way of salvation. The way of salvation. That means the way, the path of saving, the path of rescue. So if you consider yourself a part of the body of Christ, you want to stay in the path of rescue. You stay continually learning and doing right things, because that's what's going to keep you in a world going to hell in a handbasket. Do you hear what I'm saying? The culture the cycles of secularism, the cycles of the world continually spiral to and fro. So you want to make sure that you always, regardless of where the culture that you live in may find itself, whether it's in a good place or a not so good place, wherever the culture, the people, the masses find themselves, you as an individual, as long as you stay on the path, you stay in the way of salvation, and you stay protected, you stay under the banner of his name, you stay covered, you stay in a position of always being blessed. Does that make sense to you? I hope it's making sense. So this is why it's important that me, seek to do what we can. We stay fit for fight, regardless of whatever agenda may be out there. That as long as you stay in the way, you have nothing to worry about. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that get hurt. A lot of people fall into traps. A lot of people fall by the wayside. But you want to make sure first and foremost, it's your priority that you stay in the way for yourself, and then you seek to stay in the way as a benefit for those around you, as a benefit to your spouse, as a benefit to your children, as a benefit to your family, as a benefit to your tribe, as a benefit to your community, as a benefit to your acquaintances, as a benefit to your associates and those who just happen to come in and out of your presence, in and out of your sphere of influences. Am I making sense? So it's your responsibility, it's your high priority that as you live your life, and that as you enjoy the present of the time that's given to you, that as you enjoy and you live and you love and you learn and you laugh and you have fun, that you also keep yourself in the way while you do these things, while you enjoy the life that God has given you to enjoy, regardless of what is taking place. So you want to make sure that you stay in Jesus' name. John 14 and 6. I just had to throw this in there real quick. John 14 and 6. and the way is Jesus. The way is Christ. John 14:6. This is very important. Get this. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way. So it's no question about who the way is. The way is Jesus. So you learn about Jesus and you copy what Jesus did. You do what Jesus said. It's really that simple. Copy what Jesus did, copy what Jesus said, and you are in the way. I am the way, the truth. So when you copy what Jesus did, you follow the sayings, the words, the life, use Jesus Christ as an example, you are in truth. Truth. You know, we live in a world. I remember going through school, through college. I came up through the Department of Sociology, got a liberal arts degree, and one thing that was drilled into me before I got out was there is no absolute truth, and that truth is relative, and that each man has the ability and the right to set his own truths, and each culture has their right, and you have to respect and this, that, and the other. But according to the scriptures, according to a Christian worldview, there is an absolute truth that is unmovable, and everything about this universe must align itself with truth in order to live fully and eternally, have an eternal existence. So Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So when you discover, accept, uncover, and live out, and follow, and practice truth, you get life, and you get life more abundant. So you increase. Does that make sense? You go from death to life. When you go the opposite, when you rebel, you go from life to death. That's the whole thing. With the fall, we'll look at the fall a little later, but the fall was going from life. Adam and Eve had life because they were connected to the Father. They had a relationship with the Father, so they were connected to eternal life. And then when they decided to go against, when they decided to act against instruction or law, they went from life and spiraled to eventual death. That's what he said. He said, ye shall surely die. And the serpent said, "No, man, you ain't gotta listen to that. He just don't want y'all to be like us. He just don't want y'all to be like us. You ain't gonna surely die." You know what I'm saying? So we'll look at that a little later. But in the life, I'm at John 14:6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So he's saying that the way to the Father is through Christ, through him. So the way to the infinite is through Jesus Christ, who is the door. Stay in the way. I have other scriptures speaking to that, but I'll just I'll cut it off. I'll move on there, and maybe I'll save it for another time because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But just breaking down John 14:6, there were other scriptures that I had. Just looking at I am, John 10:9. Salvation is through Christ, and then Isaiah 35:8-9. Let me go there real quick. That one really spoke to me for some reason. I like Isaiah. Let me go to Isaiah real quick. Just looking at Jesus Christ being the way. 35:8-9. 35:8-9. Here we go. And a highway shall be there in the way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those the wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Wow. Man, I love that. You stay in the way, and this is what you have to not only look forward to, but actually live out. You know, there was a song that comes on the radio that I listen to often with my sons and stuff. It comes on a Christian radio station, and the song has, I forgot the exact hook, but it goes, "I'm going home," or "I'm looking forward to heaven." And I often change the words to here, you know, right now, today, not looking forward. I'm looking forward to that which is to come, but you have to be excited and have to know that you can live that which is to come right now. So you can have you can have a fearless heart. You can have a strong, clear mind. You can have a satiated and content soul that is just so thrilled and happy and just so satisfied with just waking up and experiencing life. I mean, that's a nice cake, isn't it? And then everything else, anything other than that, is just like icing on the cake. But how many people actually wake up and it's like, man, just the fact that I woke up is just satiating to my soul. I know, I remember this one guy I worked with. He would tell me that he would wake up and the first thing out of his mouth is curse words. Now, what kind of waking up is that? That you just wake up just cursing, and you wake up tired, you wake up like the Tin Man, you wake up depressed, you go to sleep depressed. You know, there's a lot of people out there experiencing this. You wake up one day and wanting to jump off a bridge because you're just tired. You know, so the suicide rate in this country amongst the military and then amongst people in general is just it's exploding. It's off the charts. Just looking at how the sickness and unwellness, the unhealthiness of the nation, the culture that we live in, mentally, mentally people are just going off the deep end, and the hearts of people, the hearts of minds, the hearts of the people are not healed. They're not mended. They're not whole. And their spiritual connection is severed. A lot of people don't even have no purpose. They don't even believe there's a God, an ultimate existence or ultimate reality. They don't believe there's more to this life than meets the eye. You know, so we live in a culture in which all these states of existence people are living in, and you want to make sure that you stay in the way so that you don't fall you don't fall into this mode. You want to stay out of it because, believe it or not, by design, it is by design that the masses stay in a unhealthy, unwell condition. And that's getting into my next idea, talking about the New World Order agenda. You probably heard this term a number of times, especially with today's culture and current events and stuff. But it's an old idea. It's been around since time memorial. It's nothing new. And this is speaking to the cycles of man, of humanity, that there is always a few amongst us who seek power and seek to prey on the lives of others and seek to seek great power and gain at the expense of others. So, you know, they don't believe in high tide raising all ships. They believe in shooting cannons and shooting down other ships in order to get to the top. These are ravenous wolves, so to speak. These are these are psychopaths and sociopaths. These are people who love and live to prey on others, And then the sociopath has no social conditioning, so they follow the orders of the psychopath. But I have a degree in sociology, by the way, just to kind of let you know. And I spend most of my time studying psychology, social psychology, and sociology. This is what I spend my time doing. Just by the way, just so you know the particular angle and bent that I approach the scriptures from, and why I talk in the manner and talk about the subjects that I talk about, because this is what I see. I'm a culture watcher. I'm a people watcher. So just talking about the New World Order idea and how it is an old idea. This is, and simply what it means is it speaks to the consistent drive of an agenda of a few powerful and key individuals, families, organizations, groups, whatever, what have you, that seek to rule and reign over the many, over the masses, eventually over the earth without unquestioned authority. So this is always the struggle. This is always the pendulum swing of humanity between freedom and dictatorship and slavery. Humanity constantly swings and cycles back and forth between freedom, liberty, and dictatorship and authority and totalitarianism. So this will go on until the end of the age. And we can say this because one of the things that hastens or speeds up the return of Christ is that humanity eventually gets to a point in which totalitarianism eventually begins to win out, in which you'll find scriptures in Daniel where it talks about the wearing out of the saints. Or if you get to Revelation, you'll find scriptures where it talks about trafficking in the souls of men. Let me go there real quick. Revelations 18 and 13, speaking to a future time. Not only a future time, but this is happening in the past. It's happening now, whether you believe it or not. Slavery has always been, always will be, and will be. It is today and always will be, in some way, shape, or form. It comes in all many packages. You just have to have your eyes open to realize this. Let me go to Revelations 18 and 13 real quick. Just talking about the New World Order or Old World Order agenda, or the always trying to be agenda. Let me go there. Revelations 18 and 13. I love this. Let me start at Revelation 18:11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, talking about Babylon. For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, the destruction of Babylon. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and of fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thy fine wood and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beast, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. This is speaking to a future time, but also it speaks to, like I said, present day, and then also in the past. But did you catch that phrase, souls of men? Souls of men, slavery. You want to make sure that you stay in the way so that you don't get caught in the net that seeks to enslave the souls of men. This agenda is constantly, always in effect. And whether you realize it or not, always enjoy, do your best to enjoy your life, but be cognizant and aware of agendas and of things that affect you and your spouse and your children's lives, not for the worst, not for their good. So be mindful of these things so that you can mitigate the effect and that you can protect yourself and that you can live a life that is freeing and healthy versus unhealthy. So if you have any question about wanting me to go into more detail about what I'm saying, just let me know. But I'm gonna keep the pace going and keep it moving. But I just wanted to speak to the New World Order agenda, how it's an old world idea and it's been around since time memorial, and it's not going anywhere. This is a spiritual battle. This started on the spiritual plane, affecting the earthly plane. So Revelations 18 and 13 speaks to how what's happening in the spiritual realm affects the earthly realm. Let me talk to the spiritual. Let me point out the spiritual realm. Ephesians 2 and 2. Talking about the New World Order agenda. And the spiritual dark side agenda affecting the world. And also the other side too. Ephesians 2 and 2. Wherein time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. You catch that? Did you catch it? The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So the spirit is influencing people, children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh. So whether you realize this or not, we're all born into this system, and we all conversate and interact with this system. And when you accept Jesus Christ, you are saved from this system. You are plucked out of this system of darkness into marvelous light. So fulfilling the desires of the flesh. So you leave the desires of just wanting to satisfy your flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, and even as others. But God, who is rich in mercy, I'm at verse 4, chapter 2, verse 4, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 4. But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Christ. So we got plucked out when we accepted Jesus Christ from this spirit that is working disobedience in the children of this in the earthly realm. Genesis 3, 1 through 7. I won't read it, but it talks about the serpent and him being more subtle, and how he's very subtle. You gotta listen to what you can't even listen to him. He's so subtle. Just be like, look, I ain't listening to nothing you gotta say, because you sound too good. And if I listen to you long enough, I might find myself doing it. So I gotta run. I gotta flee like Joseph. Potiphar's wife, she came up. She's like, yo, what's up? The man, he's gone. He's gone away for the weekend, and he ain't coming back for a while. So how about me and you? You know what Joseph did? Joseph ran. Now, if I would have done that, my friends would have said, man, you a punk, man. You scared of it, man. I used to do that when I was growing up. They'd be like, Kevin, scared of it. Like, nah, I just ain't trying to get caught up like y'all. I see what y'all do and what y'all deal with, what y'all get caught up with. And I was taught better than that. I wasn't raised to be doing all that. So you know what? I'm going to leave that alone till I get old enough. Till I get married. which I made the mistake of, I regret I made the mistake of not achieving, but I had the idea, I had the upbringing and raising to do that, to pursue that. So where was I at? Yeah, the serpent. You can't listen to him. He's too good. Just tell him to shut up. And then also, let me go to Psalms 2, 1-4 real quick. This is no new thing again. Talking about children of the earth taking counsel against God. They do it all the time. They done it in the past. They do it now. They'll do it in the future. Psalms 2, 1-4. So it's nothing new. These are phrases you shouldn't be worried about. You should be mindful of them. New world order, new order. There's some other phrases too. Blessed is the, well, let's go to Psalms 1, just the whole psalm. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. Let me see. No, it's not what I want. I'm sorry. Let me go to Psalms 2. I'm in Psalms 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. So you ain't got to worry about it. When you under the Lord's hand, you have nothing to worry about. You got it. Now you have to be mindful of it, and you have to live your life and make decisions according to what's going on in this reality. But know that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, right? So it doesn't neglect your duty of not being aware and not knowing. It just means that you have a responsibility to stay in the way and be aware, stay abreast of what's going on so you can make wise decisions about what you need to do in your day-to-day life. Is that simple? Is that clear? So just be aware. The New World Order agenda, it exists. It always will exist. And now you got to stay fit for fight. Going to the last idea, fit for fight. So stay in the way, learn about the way, stay there, learn about what the New World Order agenda is, and the constant ebb and flow between freedom and slavery. Know about that, and then be fit for fight. That means you want to be like a Jedi warrior. That means you come in peace. You come in the name of peace. But if you want war, we'll give it to you. Does that make sense? So you want to be ready for whatever. You want to be fit for fight. And that means that you must have the armor of God on at all times. Ephesians 6, 10 and 18. Ephesians 6, 10 through 18. The armor of God. Ephesians 6, 10 through 18. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand, therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. verse 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So as we can see, we have a armor. I've done alluded to this, and I keep alluding to it. I just seen the movie Wonder Woman, right? And she was always ready for battle, and she always had her battle attire ready to go. She wanted peace, but she was ready for war too. So you want to be for peace, but you always want to have these articles, these equipment, these tools of war about yourself, so that you can live a peaceful life, ready to give the enemy what he deserves when he's asking for it. Does that make sense? So Ephesians 6:10 through 18. Go back through there and read some more. But let me get to my last point. I told you I was going to talk about 3 action steps. And real quickly, I'm going to go over 3 simple. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are things that I've implemented in my life and that I continually implement in my life to help me maintain, get back on course when I get off course, to help keep me in the way, stay in the way, to help me keep abreast of the current events and what's going on, and help me see which way the tide is blowing yesterday, today, and tomorrow, forecasting, and then also to help me stay in shape and fit for fight. 3 simple action steps. Let's look at them real quick. 1, stay in the way. One way I do this is I audio stream the Bible directly into my dome, directly into my ear on a regular basis. A number of years ago, I bought an audio Bible on CD, and some of the CDs are missing and some are scratched up, but the ones I do have now, I just listen to them. I audio stream them. Sometimes I convert them into MP3 and I put them on my phone or put them on an MP3 playing device, and I stream them directly into my dome. And what I've noticed is it makes it easier. You may not catch everything all the time, but if you do it enough, it'll just sink into your subconscious, and you may not even remember what you heard where. You just know it's in the Bible. Sometimes you just come up and say, I know it's in there somewhere, and then that's where you got to pull out your concordance. Sometimes when I do these shows, I may not exactly know where something is, so I'll have to pull up a concordance that'll help me find it. But I know what phrase to look for, and I know what key word to look for. Does that make sense? So one action step that you can use to stay in the way is by streaming truth into your ear on a daily basis. Number 2, to stay abreast, stay aware of cultural trends with respect to the ebb and flow of slavery and freedom, New World Order agenda, and liberty. One way I do this is on a regular basis. I watch, I listen, and I read publications by organizations, bureaucracies, individuals, groups, and non-governmental organizations. I stay abreast to what the information that they put out. I read white papers. I listen to interviews, podcasts by the movers and the shakers, the people in influential and powerful positions. I read their statements. I study them. I study their philosophical underlays and backgrounds and points of view. I study their belief systems. I study what they think, what they do. I study what the culture is saying. I look at the printout, the manifestations, the media, the artifacts of the culture that we live in, pop culture. These are things I keep my eye on so I can make some wise decisions when it comes to me and my children, and co-parenting with my ex-wife, and when it comes to family members and things of that nature. So I stay abreast of these things so I know what kind of decisions to make that will be in the best interest of those who fall under my hand of influence. Number 3, let me see. Stay fit, and one thing you can do that will help you is to get adequate sleep, and that's for your body. Adequate sleep, that's for your body. Listen to inspirational music, that's for your heart. Music speaks directly to the heart. And write daily, that's for your mind. When you write daily, you it helps you articulate and it helps you formulate and crystallize some thoughts, and it helps gives your brain a workout. It helps you stay creative and use your imagination. So write daily, talking about the mind, and then conversate with God daily. This is your spiritual connection, your spirit man. You have to set and listen and contemplate and conversate. So hopefully this broadcast, today's show, has added some kind of value to your life today, encouraged, inspired, gave you a moment, an uplift in your life to help you stay in the way, stay abreast of what's going on, make you aware, and then help you on the path and maintain the path of being fit for fight. So this is Kevin over at jkjohnson.com or jkevinjohnson.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me in a number of other places too. May his face shine on you and give you peace.